Peace, 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 everybody. Shakesha is in the house today. What's going on, y'all? I just want to break down something that has really been beneficial for me. And I don't want to be too deep or keep you too long, but I just want to break this down so that you can catch it, so that you can recognize the science in this, so that you can use it, so that you can benefit it from it the same way that I have. So what I'm talking about is the science of the crystals, the chakras, and how the color corresponds with it. This is something that's like really basic, that's really been working for me. And so I hope that this is going to be something that will definitely be something that you can benefit from at the end of the day. So when I'm talking about the chakras and the colors and how they correspond, the chakras are the same, the chakra colors are the same as like the colors of the rainbow. Like we learned in school, that whole Roy G. Biv, the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Well, the same is with the chakras as well. Some people use different color variations as far as the purple and the white or the indigo and all of that, but it's still basically the same concept. So the red chakra, which would be the base chakra, it deals with love and sex and lust and anger and willpower. And that is connected to the root chakra. So when you're working with the color red, or a lot of times with a lot of the red crystals, you'll be doing a lot of the root chakra work. The orange is the sacral chakra, which is dealing with a lot of the sexual and how you interact in relationships, creativity, and those types of things. The yellow is the solar plexus chakra, which deals with the esteem, the self-confidence, the level of comfort around other people, your will, your ability to learn and take in information. The green is the heart chakra, goes without saying. Also, it deals with money, manifesting harmony, and all of those type of things. Planets, you can deal with a lot of fairy energies. That's for another time, though, because I'm still learning a lot of information on that whole fairy energy things. Some fascinating stuff. I would advise you to all look into that. The blue chakra is the throat chakra, or the color blue deals with the throat chakra, which is the communication that deals with your truth, opens you up for higher knowledge. The purple or the indigo is the third eye chakra, which works with your belief, mental clarity, the healing of the mind, building the will, those type of things, how you overcome obstacles in some cases and everything. So the third eye chakra is really good, intuition, those type of things. The white or the violet chakra is the crown chakra, which corresponds with, and that works with like your spiritual struggle, protection, healing, inner peace, and you know how you're operating on that level. So those are all the chakras that I just broke down real quickly. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the well, I call them rocks, but you know, it's a lot more deeper than just being rocks, because they break it down from crystals, gems, fossils, and all types of things. But you know, when I first got involved with working with crystals, the first thing that came to my mind is that you trying to tell me that I can draw some energy from a rock, you know? But I'm going to tell you, absolutely. Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. So in reading a lot of the research that's out there and some of the books and everything that's available out there, I've been dealing with this cat, this Scott Cunningham, and he has some really good information on crystals. I would recommend you check that out. Also, this lady, she wrote the book called The Crystal Bible, which I don't have, but I do have this book called Life Changing Crystals with Judy Hall. She puts out some really good and powerful information on crystals that I just did not know. You can always look online. There's always a bunch of information if you just Google in, you know, whatever crystal it is that you're trying to research, or crystals in general, and then you know somebody has a list of crystals and the energies that you can pull from them, and how that all corresponds. There's also, you know, some crystal healing books, and there's a lot of things, but I'm not going to get deep and complicated, because like in some of these books, especially like this one here, they, you know, come up with a whole bunch of complicated grids and all of this other stuff that I'm really not really that clear on and everything, and maybe with a little bit more study I'll understand that a lot more deeply and everything. But I'm not really that concerned with it because I get the power out of operating with them the way that I've been operating with them. So I'm just going to keep on moving from there. And then if I learn how to work with those grids or whatever that is, then we'll see how that works as well. But right now, I'm getting full benefit where I'm at right now. And you know what I'm saying? For any other information, I'm definitely with that as well. So according to Scott Cunningham, he was talking about that these crystals or the stones are like the gift of the earth. He uses the term stones. I call them rocks. Um, they're manifestations of the universal forces of God. So I'm also working with a group called Self Invested with Miss Blue, and I got to tell you, I have learned so many things. And we just did um, um, a workshop on the crystals and everything. And I'm not really going to get too much into it because a lot of the information is already out there and everything. But she really provides some really good information. So if you know anything about that, Miss Blue from the Remix, she's on Blog Talk Radio. You want to check that out. Also, Brother Panic, I took his class and learned a lot about crystals. And I'm telling you, I recommend that you take that class as well. But anyway, moving forward, I'm going to talk about that. Crystals are batteries which contain concentrated information. It's like a cosmic radio, and I got that cosmic radio off of Miss Blue. It's used for protection, health, fertility. It's also used in magic. You can promote psychic awareness with the moonstone. If you want to be feeling calm and everything, then you can work with the amethyst. If you're trying to connect with that energy of wealth, you can work with the peridot. The rose quartz will help you in manifesting that and manifesting that love energy. So most people are really discovering the power within these stones. So rocks are used in improving our conditions, our relationships, or whatever. And you can use these rocks to really pull some energy. It's not going to do it for you, but it's definitely going to create that energy to support you on your journey. So crystals, rocks, metals, colors, scents, forms, movements, elements, all of those are types of energies that you can work with. Plants, animals, and everything. They contain certain type of energies from the universe. It's beyond religion or explanation because it's everywhere. It does it has nothing to do with anyone's dogma or anything like that. So to learn about it, you want to be able to direct it, arouse it, release it, and use it. Like it's an energy that you can use that's available to you. It's straight science. So magic is a natural process. There's no demons, there's no spooks, there's no fallen angels or any other undesirable forces out here that's going to help you or give you the ability to be able to work with this energy and practice any of this magic stuff, because this is all scientific. This process is for people that are more on an individual level. If you're more like one of those people that's in a group thing that want to follow the way that you've been taught or follow that, I'm not going to tell you or discourage you to not continue doing that. Then perhaps what I'm telling you is not for you. But if you're one of those people that's up to learn something and want to try something that may be beneficial for you, then I would suggest you go ahead and listen on. Other than that, I tell you just stick to the religious process and let that work for you as well. So for success with working with these stones, in Cunningham's book, he breaks down the 3 things that you need for that. And this is very, very important. And this is something that I've learned throughout all magical practice. You're going to need these 3 things. You're going to need the need. So the need is a desire for something that is not a need. A need is like an empty space in your life or a critical condition. And magic fills that space or corrects the condition so that the need will be fulfilled. The other thing that you're going to need is an emotion. The emotion. That's where the power is in the emotion. If you don't feel anything about it, then it's probably not going to work for you. That's where the power is. It won't work without it. So set free the power for manifestation in the emotions. And then, of course, that's knowledge. That's visualization, the ritual, having that need without knowledge is like giving an iPhone to somebody like 100 years ago and wondering why they're not able to navigate through it sufficiently. Knowledge is essential. So magic is practice, especially like with these stones, to improve our condition. it's not a situation where you use it for hate or malice or to go after people, or to dominate somebody, but it's for harm. It's to work with harmony in nature. And since the power is neutral, it could be tempting to use it for all of those purposes, for selfish purposes, for domination, for control, or blowing up your ego or something like that. But it's our intentions and needs that determine the effect of how things work around you. It's almost like electricity. Electricity is energy. So if you misuse the electricity by sticking your finger, or better yet, your tongue, into a socket, you will get zapped because you misused the energy. So you better watch your ass. But it's your choice. But all you have to do is make sure that the energy is not being misused. And when I say that, the intention that you have is the intention that you create. So with this, you will need to see what's going on, what your intention is when you're working with these stones. You're going to want to see what it is. You're going to need to visualize. So if you want to see yourself like coming into some abundance, or if you want to see yourself with a new job, or if you want to see yourself driving a Range Rover or any other mundane things, or if you want to see yourself gaining more wisdom or gaining more light, then you need to visualize that so that you can see it. If you want to focus on something like love, obtaining love in your life, you can use a rose quartz like this one here, and you can hold it up and visualize it and see it and start working with that energy. Stones, they can lose energy, they can gain energy a little bit. A lot of people, what they do is they charge the stones. And how you can do that, you can simply put it in your hands. This is how powerful it is, because the hands, they have a lot of power in that. That's a whole nother story. You can hold it in your hand, you can visualize it and use your power to change that up. You can use a carnelian, which I have here. A carnelian helps to charge up the rest of your stones. So I like to put that in the case with the rest of the stones to help to charge that up. And I just learned that by getting that information out of the Julie Hall book, with the carnelian and how it'll charge up the rest of the crystals that you have if you keep one on deck. You can use it that way. But one thing that I've been using that's been very effective, and and like I said, and I'm not here to try to argue anybody's technique or anything like that, but I just put it up under some cold water in my hand, and I can literally feel the energy just running up off of it, just to cleanse it out. And then I can you can put it in a windowsill so it can catch some of the energy from the moon or from the sun. You can run it up under the frankincense and myrrh, or something like that. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. I would advise you to definitely Google that and how you deal with that. So the stones have different types of energy. It's two different types that we really want to talk about right here, which is projective and receptive energy. So the projective energy and the receptive energy is almost the same as like the principle of gender, the male-female energy. Everything has a gender, the sun and the moon, the god and the goddess, those, opposite energies, when you're working with electricity, is positive and negative. So, with projective energies, we're talking about electric, hot, day, physical, bright, summer, knife, or active. And receptive energy, we're talking about magnetic energy, cold, night, spiritual, dark, winter, or inertia. The goal in working with these things is balance. You don't want to have too much of the projective energy, because the projective energy is going to have you aggressive and overly analytical and, out of balance on that end. And then, too much receptive energy could give you like depression or sluggishness, or make you isolative, or extra clingy in relationships. So you really want to make sure that you have balance. Balance is your definite goal in all of that. So some projective stones characteristics would be the bright outward appearance. You use the projective stones for strengthening the mind, for bringing courage, determination, to contact the conscious mind. A lot of those, what those stones would look like is like the red stones, the gold ones. They're usually a little bit heavier. So those are, more of what projective stones look like, but it's not necessarily, like isolated to that, because then somebody will come up with a stone that's a receptive stone that fits that description, and that's a possibility. I haven't run into that, but that is a possibility. But that's what they usually look like, and according to the literature that I had following along with. But if you find out something different, definitely let me know, because like I said, the more I learn, let's rock with that. So receptive stones are more of a soothing, calmward, inner magnetic type of thing. They promote meditation and wisdom and creating inner peace. So you want to use those when you're like communicating between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and expanding your awareness and everything. And they radiate energy, which attract like love and friendship and money and healing. And you can use those type of stones for like grounding. A really good one is like lapis lazuli, which is used to draw love or absorb depression and create joy. Another one is moonstone and aquamarine, and a lot of them that are purple and gray and stuff like that. So then a lot of people, they like to get into the planet energies, like the moon, Saturn, Venus, and Neptune. Those are all the receptive ones. And then the projective one, planets would be like the sun, Mercury, Mars, and Uranus, and all of that other stuff. That it may be a little bit too deep. I get it now, thanks to a lot of classes I've taken through Brother Panic and Miss Blue and everything. Now I really have been able to get it, because you read something and you don't really absorb it like that. So it's always good to try and take some of the courses or study up under somebody that's going to help you to gain a clearer understanding of what's going on, so that they can break the information down so that you can at least absorb it when it's being presented to you. So another thing that I like to really do is I like to get with the jewelry for my crystals. Jewelry has been used a lot of times now, with the advent of materialism and everything, that people use it more for decoration than they do, for pulling some energy out and using that for their own magical benefits. But for me, I think that the using crystals in your jewelry is one of the most powerful things that you can do. So what I do, like I said, and there's some people out there that would argue that, but that's probably because it doesn't work for them. But it certainly works for me. So with rings have always symbolized something like unity or eternity. So wearing a ring kind of like binds you with power. So don't believe that hype about rings that, that's out there. I heard that, it'll lessen the effect of the crystal or something like that. Or what finger it is that you put it on and everything. I'm not really sure about that. A lot of people talk about how the index finger is the one that has all of the power in it, and you know what I'm saying, and it came popular, I guess because that's the pointing finger. I'm not really sure what that was all about. And then they talk about the ring finger, and that's the ring that I usually have my wedding ring on, but I put different rings on there today. But the ring finger is supposed to be have a nerve that's connected to the heart or something like that. And so that's why a lot of people have been working with that. I'm not really sure. I have not done the research on any of that. This was just some information that I came across that I can share with you, and you can go and check it out further if that's something that's of interest to you. What I'm really trying to convey is the benefits of using these crystals and working with them, and so you can have just like a very basic understanding on how utilizing these energies will work for you. So necklaces is almost like having a large ring. So wearing a necklace of stones is like surrounding you with the power of that. So like I like to work with like citrine. Citrine, this is a necklace. You surround yourself with the power of the citrine. Citrine is an awesome thing because it cannot hold a negative charge. You don't have to charge it. You don't have to clear it up. It will not hold a negative charge. You can put it on, rock it, and it'll go. So this is definitely something I tell people. Treat yourself to a citrine necklace, and this is something that you need in your life. You may not like this style. There's various styles and everything. Look out there. The world is ours now that we have this internet. Another thing that you want to do is get some earrings, possibly. You know, earrings have been worn to like weed out disease and negativity like long time back in the days, but now it's primarily for decorations. The one that was in the nose, they still do that in India, where they have a purpose for wearing the ring in the nose besides being stylish. So it was used for protective reasons and everything. So now it's more like a cosmetic thing and all of that. So a lot of times people have said that the earrings have been used to like cure headaches and all of that type of stuff. But that's, you know, neither here nor there. The jewelry that you wear has really been beneficial. Today, I worked with nothing today but the Herkimer diamond that I have right here. And what that does, it like raises the vibration, intensifies everything that I'm doing. You can do a little bit of research on that. And I'm telling you, you know, that really has worked for me, especially, you know, when I have like a lot of, you know, different things to do, and, you know, beneficial for me. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So just to summarize real quick so that you'll really get, you know, what I'm trying to summarize as quickly as I can about these without getting too deep, because I could probably go on for about an hour talking to you about these crystals. But they're energy pods, and they have the same molecules as the human body. So when it's aligned, it can release some powerful information. Their crystals are a satellite for sending and receiving information. Need, motion, and knowledge is what you need in order to be successful in working with these crystals or any other type of magic. Jewelry is a good and powerful thing to use for energy from crystals, especially the necklace, as you surround yourself with the energy. It's not too deep. It's not too complicated. I know that there's a lot of grids and a bunch of diaphragms that people use these crystals with and everything, and it doesn't have to be that deep. You can just simply carry one in your pocket and keep it on your person. It's not a spooky thing. It's not devil worship. It's all natural. You're working with the natural energies of the earth. So it works, whether you believe it works or not. It doesn't need your help to believe in it. It will work with your energy. So I was skeptical for a while because I didn't really get how a rock could help you out, but I'm telling you, it works. So peace and love, and I hope that'll work for you as well. Peace.